We chase male validation tirelessly, even if the men that we're wanting the validation from aren't our cup of tea. We become so blinded by our desire to be chosen by a man that we forget who we're choosing. We forget to ask ourselves, do I even want to have this person around in my life? Do I want to introduce them to my friends? As women, we have been socialized to seek male approval because we live in a patriarchal society. We live in a world that elevates men's opinions and diminishes women's worth. So we kind of look to men to feel good about ourselves, to tell us that we're enough, that we're good enough to be chosen, that we're beautiful enough, that we're likable enough. Oh, we give men too much of a say over our lives, over who we are. Hello beautiful people, I'm Alessia. It's so nice to be sat down chatting with you. I'm really excited to talk about this today. This is something that I have some experience with. I have certainly fallen in love with the idea of somebody rather than the actual person. I have been attracted to somebody because of all the things I've told myself in my head that they are when they weren't. So women from a really young age dream about fairy tales because they're kind of forced down our throats through the books that we read and the films that we watch and the toys that we play with. We really do dream of Prince Charming, happily ever afters, the perfect love. So it's no surprise that we are experts at falling in love with the idea of something. I think it's so easy to project that kind of Prince Charming persona onto a man. When we're intrigued about somebody, maybe it is a guy, it's very tempting to kind of fill in the gaps. You know, if you don't really know them, to kind of make up who they are in your head. And it's fun, you know, to imagine scenarios and things that would happen and things that they would say. If you have a really vivid imagination, it's so easy to conjure up a beautiful image of who somebody is from very little evidence. It's so easy to do that with somebody you barely know and to ignore all the kind of red flags, all the signs that they're, I don't know, maybe emotionally unavailable, and just focus on one thing that kind of drew you to them. That one moment when they glanced over at you and you felt that tension, or that one time that they paid you a compliment. Also, if you as a kid daydreamed a lot to escape your reality, to make yourself feel better, you're probably really good at making up scenarios in your head and dream situations, dream partners. I've definitely been more prone to daydream about a guy that doesn't really exist when I've felt down in life, when I've needed that escape, when I've been struggling mentally. And this actually perfectly leads me on to the paid partner of this video, and that's BetterHelp. So I've chatted with 2 BetterHelp therapists, and I've genuinely loved both of them. They've both added so much value to my life. I spoke with the first therapist for over a year, and she was really helpful in helping me heal kind of childhood wounds. She was very warm and soft and caring and quite like maternal energy, actually. I did feel very comfortable sharing with her. And the second therapist I'm actually currently chatting to every week offers a slightly different vibe. She's a lot more direct and honest. And I actually really appreciate that, especially at this time in my life. I think to begin with, having a more kind of soft and warm therapist was needed. It kind of eased me into therapy. But yeah, my current therapist is really helping me with my relationship to myself and with neurodivergence. One of the best things about BetterHelp is the ability to switch therapists at any time with no extra cost, because at the end of the day, different people bring different value, and the same goes for therapists. Different therapists have different skill sets, have different advice to offer. So it's really great to be able to kind of freely move on. That flexibility for me was really important. BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step and reach out to a therapist, somebody who gets it. All you have to do is fill out a quick questionnaire and you'll be matched with a credentialed therapist as soon as possible. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can feel confident in trying. So if you'd like to connect with a BetterHelp therapist, click the link in the description box, or just go to betterhelp.com/Southerberry to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Enjoy the rest of the video. Do you know what? I think it's completely okay to play pretend every now and then and to make up situations in your head with people that you fancy. I just think awareness is key, because if you get carried away, you can quickly idolize somebody that doesn't exist. You can overlook real red flags, and this can push you into the arms of an unkind man or, a toxic relationship. That's why I'm making this video. It's actually so important to be able to distinguish between feeling quite attracted to somebody and lustful towards them and actually liking them as a person. There's a difference between surface level attraction and deep connection. We all deserve real love. You deserve real love, not the kind that you conjure up into existence in your mind, but the kind that actually exists. You deserve somebody who shows up for you, somebody who respects you. I'm making this video because I really want women to protect themselves. By the way, I know I've used Prince Charming and referred to men, but this dynamic can apply to anybody. It doesn't matter about gender. I'm bisexual, pansexual, and I've done this with women too. I just think it's easier to fall into the daydreaming trap with men, for me anyway. But I think for a lot of people, because we live in a world where heteronormativity is very much a thing. I grew up watching straight romance films and seeing straight love all around me. I didn't really have much or any queer representation growing up. So yeah, it was just a lot easier to latch on to the dream guy rather than the dream woman or dream person. Anyway, let's get into the signs that you are attracted to the idea of somebody, but not who they really are. Number 1, you've fallen in love with them in your alone time when they're not actually there. In person, have you really enjoyed their company and felt really close to them? Or are you enjoying this person more in your head when you're on your solo walks or thinking about them late at night? Are you enjoying the made up version more? The second sign is you don't really know much about them, and actually that doesn't really matter. Your focus isn't on getting to know them on a deep level. It's more on being close to them, having that physical intimacy. Maybe you really want to kiss them more than anything. That is what I would describe as lust, and I've actually done a video on this. I'm gonna link it at the end of this one. You should definitely watch it. The next sign is deep down in your body that this person isn't right for you. But when you're bored or maybe when you're lonely, you act from impulse and you message them, you go and see them. All I'm going to say is our bodies often know before our minds whether we trust somebody. The fourth sign is you don't feel like you can be yourself around them. So you adapt your personality. You take on their interests, their hobbies, their taste in music, in film. This is something that I've done in the past because I've wanted to make things work. Not because I really liked somebody, but because I think I was really into the idea of being together. And because I so desperately wanted to make it work, I kind of shaped my personality around theirs. And I lost myself. And I think that's something that women actually talk about a lot, kind of losing themselves when they get into relationships with people. As women, it's very easy to get so overly devoted to somebody that we lose sight of who we are, what makes us sparkle. Hold on to what makes you sparkle. Do not lose sight of your values, of your passions. The fifth sign is you are obsessed with getting them to like you, not whether you like them or not. It's all about gaining their attention, their validation. I think this is a really common thing for women. We chase male validation tirelessly, even if the men that we're wanting the validation from aren't our cup of tea. We become so blinded by our desire to be chosen by a man that we forget who we're choosing. We forget to ask ourselves, do I even want to have this person around in my life? Do I want to introduce them to my friends? As women, we have been socialized to seek male approval because we live in a patriarchal society. We live in a world that elevates men's opinions and diminishes women's worth. So we kind of look to men to feel good about ourselves, to tell us that we're enough, that we're good enough to be chosen, that we're beautiful enough, that we're likable enough. Oh, we give men too much of a say over our lives, over who we are. Before we go on to the next sign, I just want to ask you, do you want to choose this person that you're attracted to, that's got you watching this video? Do you like them? Like seriously like them as a person? Do you have an emotional connection with them? Do you have shared values? Politically, are you aligned? Do you even know their political standpoint? Would they call themselves a feminist? Do they respect women? Do they truly respect you? All important things to think about if we're wanting to get into a long-term relationship with somebody. If we're going to let somebody into our lives and give them our precious time and energy, it's so important to deeply ponder these questions. Who the person is, what bonds you together. Is it physical attraction? Is it emotional attraction? Is it both? Ideally it'd be both if you're wanting a long-term relationship, but maybe it's just physical attraction. My second to last sign that you are attracted to the idea of this person, not the real them, is you're focused on looking beautiful for them, not being yourself around them, not letting them in. You might actually keep them at arm's length by not really sharing much about yourself, not speaking vulnerably. You might be really obsessed with, always looking perfect around them, always having a full face of makeup and your hair done. Maybe you don't let them see you in your more natural state. Maybe that doesn't feel comfortable. Maybe you sense that actually they'll be less interested in you if you're not looking glamorous and beautiful. And maybe that's because your relationship is more grounded and bonded in attraction rather than connection. My last sign is going to start with a question. Do you ever feel like they just don't get you? They just don't see you? If you think there's a bit of a disconnect, if you think that actually they don't really get your personality, your humour, they don't laugh at the things that you laugh at, they don't want to do the things that you want to do at the weekend, it's not that your personality is wrong or that you need to tweak yourself or your humour or that you're too much. It's just that you guys are incompatible. I really want you to resist changing yourself and adapting your personality to suit somebody that you want to be with. The right person will allow you to blossom and become a more authentic version of yourself. The physical attraction might be there with somebody. It might be really there. You might feel really kind of drawn to them. You might really want to be touching them all the time. But that might be it. That might be all there is. And if a long-term relationship is what you really want, then physical attraction alone is not enough. Please subscribe, my lovely. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's informed you and empowered you. If it has, definitely pop in the comments sections and let me know. Please like the video. Hit the little bell notification so you know when I'm posting. I tend to post every week, more or less. Thank you so much again, and I hope you have a nice day.